What's going on, guys? Your boy Rome Leggett back again with another video. Yes, we are back again. I've been waiting to do this one. This is, you guys know, you guys know that I love my mouth-watering, delicious, sweet, gourmand type of fragrances. You guys know this. But I'm here right now. I'm here to deliver some of the most sought after, most luxurious, luxury niche fragrances that are mouth-watering delicious.
Make a move. Number 3, could you pop this for me? Just as a top off? Here's what's gonna happen. Tonto. Kimasabi's gonna have some flavor.
Yes, some of my most delicious smelling, edible, neck nibbling, you know, those fragrances that you wear when you are trying to get your significant other in the mood. If you want to smell irresistible, yes, this is the video to pay attention to. I want to focus on most of these fragrances here that I want to focus on are going to be mostly in the edible or drink category. So if that's the type of vibe you're into, buckle your seatbelts because we're about to go on a ride. All right? Before we get there, those who just joined the channel for the first time, welcome to He Smells Like Rome. Here we talk about niche fragrances. We talk about luxury fragrances, hard to find fragrances, and those fragrances that's going to cause conversation. So if that's the type of content you're looking for, do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get all the notifications when I shoot my videos. You help me out, I help you out. You know how this thing goes. Alright, so we're about to dive deep into some of the most delicious smelly fragrances in the world. If you're ready for the epic video, sit back, relax, get some popcorn. It's about to go down. Alright guys, so we got 10 fragrances here, and the one that I have in my hand right now, this is one of my newest fragrances in my collection, and as you're about to see, I've been wearing this fragrance quite often. It is one of the most exotic, boozy, chocolate cacao fragrances I've ever come across. This is absolutely mouth-watering delicious. And that fragrance I'm talking about is from Granado, and this is Favro Intenso. Yes, you guys, if you have watched my channel for the last 3 or 4 months, you know I've been talking about this fragrance and I reviewed it. And this fragrance comes from Brazil, and they're using some really cool exotic notes that are literally associated with Brazil itself. The most popular note in this fragrance from Brazil is from this drink called cachaça, right? And what I know about this from the perfumer, Cece, she told me that it comes from sugarcane. They kind of age and ferment the sugarcane and turn it into this kind of liqueur, right? So the combination of having a wonderful boozy note surrounded with cacao that creates this nice chocolatey vibe, and they have a fruity aspect in the opening, which is from pomelo and some other exotic citrus notes. Man, this is absolutely just, I'm on the beach relaxing with one of the most delicious tropical drinks in the world. And if you're into the boozy aspect, you're gonna love this because that booziness comes off this fragrance. It's smooth. That's all I want to say. Delicious, mouth-watering, and a fragrance you guys need to get your nose on. Go check it out. All right, the next fragrance I have up is a new fragrance in my collection. I just got me a new bottle, and this was absolutely in my top 10 summer fragrance video, and it's in this one too because it is one of the most desirable fragrances you can look for. And I'm talking about Reinvented Ethereal Soul. Bruh, Reinvented they put their foot in this one. This is a cherry fragrance like no other cherry fragrance. And you guys saw my review on this, and if you haven't, I'll put a link down below where you check it out. But this has a very citrusy, kind of bubbly opening with the combination of fruit and cherry. Man, y'all, this is just one of a kind. This is what I'm talking about. If you could mix citrus, bright, sparkling notes like bergamot, like lemon and raspberry, and put a nice, seductive, really kind of ripe, like new cherry in the mix, that's this. I'm telling you, this smells like a tropical drink and a combination of like really sweet Kool-Aid. Now, I know that's a little hood, but if you guys, and who hasn't had Kool-Aid? Come on now. The exotic parts mixed with the Kool-Aid, and to top it off, mix a little bit of mysterious black currant in this. Another, just pour me a nice drink while I'm by the poolside type of fragrance. This is it right here. I'm telling you, this is absolutely going with me. Another fragrance is going on vacation with me. Delicious. Go check it out. Let's go check out the next one. So the next fragrance I have is from Favro 1833. And I remember going to New York and purchasing this fragrance from the boutique they had there. I think it's still there. And they had so many fragrances in the store, and I smelled probably like 40 different fragrances while I was there, because I was just determined to find something I love. And when I smelled this, I was like, oh yeah, I know what Eric was talking about. And that fragrance I'm talking about is Shaquto, or Shaquto. Hopefully I'm saying it right. But this right here, this, oh man, this is mesmerizing. This is captivating in the most regal way. My mouth is literally watering right now because of this thing. This is so gorgeous. So this used to be a drink that only the rich, the regal, the royalty of the South America, the Aztec, the Indian culture from South America. This is what they used to drink, as only the prestige had, and that note that they used to use. The drink was called this, and the notes with the combination of vanilla, kind of a powdery cacao, and the mixture of a nice aged rum note. So the booziness mixed with just really powdery, and I mean the vanilla in this is also kind of airy and powdery. So the subtle sweetness mixed with this nice beverage, it is, yeah, regal. And if you put this on, everyone's going to ask you what you have on, because the batches of this have to be made, and I think it takes a couple of years for the batch to kind of sit and age to actually smell like the original. Because if you look at the bottle, if you go to the store, if you have the bottle, maybe you can see it on this one. They have the numbers to tell you what batch the perfume came from. So that is unique to Favro 1833's Shaquto. Man, yeah. Another delicious, mouth-watering fragrance. This is another one on the boozy side that you need to get in your collection. Let's go check out the next one. So the next fragrance I have, and this, y'all can kind of see right now, we got a theme going on. I'm talking about a lot of kind of drinkable fragrances, and they don't always have to be that. There are some in here that are also, you'll understand what I mean. Let's just continue. So the next fragrance I have, this could be possibly in my top 5 favorite fragrances in my entire collection. And it is another exotic, one-of-a-kind fragrance. This is Eidelon from Vincent Dreamhouse. Now, I've talked about this fragrance extensively, and if I have not convinced you veterans that's been following me for the past decade and a half, you new ones, Eidelon creates such a majestic, almost, I would say, kind of, well, how could I put this? This is kind of that vigilante kind of smell. That guy that, or lady that goes out and does the right thing for justice, but doesn't follow the rules completely. This is a dangerous, seductive fragrance, but the combination of booze, spice, more booze, and this resinous, sticky, just, and I mean, you the vigilante, you done saved the day, that saved the damsel in distress, and she's like, oh my God, thank you, how can I repay you? Dangerous. Let me tell you the notes. We have a dark cherry, and this is the cherry that's been sitting in kind of that cherry juice, mixed with a really nice aged wine from like 2005. You have spices, which is Immortelle. We have another boozy aspect, which is cognac. And then we have a whole bunch of different other nuances like tobacco, Divana, Gaiac wood, all these different nuances. But what makes this such a desirable fragrance, one of the fragrances that I say again is dangerous, but it's an attractive fragrance, is the combination of red wine, cherry, cognac, and this really nice, slightly smoky tobacco note. Nothing like this on the planet. Nothing. Go check it out. Yeah, a must-have. Let's go check out the next one. So the next fragrance, so this one right here, this is a fragrance in pretty much the black community that is kind of the staple, the one you go to if you're trying to impress that first date. And it is probably top 5 best gourmand fragrances in the world. And that is from Nathan Darius. And this is Notorietta. Yes, Notorietta. This is, I'm wearing leather pants with some black suede Timbs. I got me a nice black, cool button up. I'm wearing, everything's dapper, everything's swag. And I'm throwing this on right around the fall. Between October to December, this beautiful concoction is where it's at. The combination of caramel, cinnamon, spices, unbeatable. This is leaning more towards the dessert, that pastry-like smell, the pastry that you go into a bakery and you're like, it's maybe afternoon going into brunch, but I'm craving something sweet, right? Not too sweet, but something sweet. That's this fragrance right here. The amber and the vanilla and the combination of sandalwood and a dry down not only amplifies that gourmand sweet pastry kind of, I would say, in my opinion, maybe a nice caramel cinnamon bun. This is one of the most delicious gourmand smelling fragrances in the game. Go check it out if you haven't. I know most of the ladies have, but I'm telling you guys, man, if y'all put this on, it is a wrap. You can thank me later. All right, next up, this is a new fragrance house, and I'm kind of dropping the ball here because I need to get more fragrances from this house. It is from one of my favorite perfumers, a perfumer that's synonymous with Bodicea Victorious. This is Christian Prozano's line, and this is Rocca. Yes, another beautiful emerald green bottle with emerald green Swarovski crystals. But the juice, my guys. Yeah. To this day, this is tied with the most complimented fragrance I have in my collection. It just continuously gets compliments, and most of the time I'm with my wife and someone thinks she has the fragrance on and they start complimenting her, and then she just points at me and be like, no, that's him. That ain't me, that's him. Now, you know, I got to sit there and be like, hey, you know. But this fragrance is another pastry-like fragrance. This is the fragrance that features the dominant note of raspberry and caramel. Yes, raspberry and caramel in this fragrance plays a big part, but there are floral aspects that give this fragrance kind of a nice touch of femininity. But once again, if you can imagine a Danish pastry with raspberry filling and maybe raspberry in between the bread with caramel and possibly like powdered sugar on it, this is how that smells to me. This is so gorgeous. Now, that fruity caramel kind of smell and the pastry-like smell, but it has also a freshness, a tropical freshness with this. Get this, I'm telling you, if you tried it on paper, no, put it on skin. I'm telling you, after maybe a good 15 minutes, this fragrance just not only projects, but just opens up and it smells delicious. Go check it out. Let's move along. Defender is the king or queen that just won an epic battle, and they're gonna celebrate with their fellow companions, their subjects, and they're sitting on the throne, literally being fed some of the most desirable fruits and desserts that the world has. And this fragrance, Defender by Bodicea Victorious, definitely depicts every bit of that. Now, I told you there are so many fragrances here that are just smell edible, delicious, mouth-watering. This one right here not only captures the boozy side, not only captures the dessert side, it captures the candy shop side also. This is why I said, you ever seen those Egyptian African kings or the Roman, you know, kings and queens and pharaohs that used to sit there and let people like peel grapes and give them food and feed them food? That's the kind of vibe this thing right here kind of gives. From the red fruit notes in the opening to the boozy cognac to this really resinous Twizzler-like licorice combined with a nice spicy ginger. The whole candy shop, the whole bakery, the whole wine cellar is open when you spray this fragrance. It is probably the most diverse, gourmand, boozy, just exotic fragrance in the whole list. And I'm telling you guys, if you have not experienced this, ladies and gentlemen, what are you waiting for? Get your nose on Defender. It is one of the best releases 2024, 2025, in my opinion. Yeah. A neck nibbler. Absolutely a neck nibbler. Let's go check out the next one. I gotta get right for this one, huh? Man. All right, so A lot of you guys have been DMing me and sending me messages saying, Rome, how can I get Gram and Pot? Rome, I want to get Gram and Pot. Where can I buy it? They now ship to the USA. They ship to the USA now. I know before when I would shoot my videos or doing fragrance reviews, I would say you would have to have someone maybe in Europe, but now they ship to the USA. Some of the fragrances I think are carried by Max Aroma, but not the whole line. But I'm happy to tell you that they're here. And for those that keep telling me, Rome, it's too expensive. If you have Xerjoff, Killian, Roger Dove, Creed, or any of those fragrances that you can find in Neiman Marcus or Saks, because I don't want to hear it. $300-400 is absolutely expensive. But if you got 25 fragrances behind you that cost that amount, I don't care if you got to discount it. You only paid $250, $225 for it. If you add it up, they start to add up really quickly. So stop with that. That always trips me out. If you got a whole case of fragrances and you're like, yo, I don't pay retail for stuff, but you have $300 fragrance behind you. Come on, man. All right, let's get into it. So the fragrance I want to talk about is Amber Mill, or Amber Mill, however you want to say it. This is, if you think Bodacious by Bodacita Victorious is a neck breaker. You haven't seen nothing yet. Let me introduce you to the fragrance I think, in my opinion, neck and neck. I honestly can't tell you which one is better. I can tell you which one does what more. Now, Bodacita Victorious, Bodacious, it projects further, but this one lasts longer. Bodacita Victorious has a nice resinous, fruity, darker tone when it comes to the cherry aspect. This has a more balanced, more refined, more realistic cherry vibe, in my opinion. Not only that, it has an equally realistic raspberry note in this also. But let me get a little bit more into why this fragrance is just, it's this close to being a masterpiece. All right, so let me break it down for you for those who don't know. A warm, sweet honey. Another delicious fruit, which is a juicy, ripe plum. I told you about the raspberry. A soft cinnamon spice. We have vanilla in the base, accompanied by tobacco and amber. Now, if you want to know all the nuances, go check out my review. But another fragrance, in my opinion, that needs to be on your gourmand favorites list. Once again, one of the most delicious, sweet smelling fragrances in the game. Go check it out. Now, the next fragrance that I have here, this is a little tricky because this is one of those fragrances that I consider to be flavorful. I think that it has a place in the delicious category, but I also think that this has a place in where I would consider it to be more on the oriental side, right? But hear me out. My Geisha foreplay is no joke. Oh, yes, when I say flavorful, the way that they were able to create this realistic yet playful honey note is almost fictitious. It's almost like, yeah, nah, there's no way. Yes, the honey note in this is absolutely spectacular. Now, having honey combined with a slight spiciness and then adding a nice sweet comparable tobacco note in this is where I said you have gourmand, where you have gourmand deliciousness meets the oriental side. That tobacco in this combined with a nice sweet creamy vanilla and amber note leans more resinous. It has gourmand aspects, but that flavorful side is, it just, every time I smell this, I'm kind of salivating. I'm like, man, but when I put it on, I'm just feeling untouchable. The confident boost with this sexy, delicious, mouth-watering fragrance is, yeah, this is the truth. I said I'm gonna tell you guys over and over about my Geisha being a sleeper fragrance house. Don't let these haters tell you not to get this, because they're telling you not to get it and they got it. They just don't want you wearing it. Go check it out. You can thank me later. I got one more. Let me show you what my #1 most delicious mouth-watering fragrance is right now. All right, so the next fragrance is, this is the most playful, youthful fragrance. It's all of that, but what drew me to this fragrance is it reminded me of going to an amusement park. It reminds me of going to one of the amusement park I used to go to when I lived in Jersey, which is Six Flags Great Adventure, or the amusement park in Maryland, which is Six Flags America, or King's Dominion, right? I actually haven't been to King's Dominion, so scratch that. This is definitely reminding me of my times going to Six Flags America here. And that fragrance I'm talking about is from Niche in Perfumes. And this is Kepler 51D. Yes, y'all see this. And the bottle itself tells you the whole story. That beautiful pink bottle. Yeah. This fragrance features, and I would say the star of the show is the cotton candy in this fragrance. Yes, but what I mean by how this fragrance reminds me of when I go to amusement parks. Of course, cotton candy is synonymous with theme parks and amusement parks. You're going to find them in pretty much every corner. But as a playful, kind of goofy guy that I am, I love having those nostalgia moments where I can go and say, it's middle of June or July and I'm going to the amusement park and it's hot. I want to get an icy that has every fruit, you know, kind of dressing in it. And that's what this fragrance has also. The combination of passion fruit, pineapple, orange, peach, and vanilla definitely reminds me of, like I said, those times when I'm walking around with a slushie or icy because it's hot as can be in those amusement parks. But also, the kind of cherry on top is when you're able to smell that beautiful, wonderful cotton candy smell. And that is so delicious. Absolutely delicious. But this fragrance right here, this thing has a unique kind of trick. It has all those fruity aspects, but what gives this slight unique character is there's a oud note, there's a carrot note, which is this slight sweet vegetable kind of feel, but there's also a nice leather nuance in the base. Now, all three of those notes are very subtle, but they're absolutely noticeable. But the playful kind of candy, gourmand, delicious side definitely is the showstopper of this fragrance. So if you like cotton candy, if you like those fruity aspects, don't let the pink bottle kind of throw you off, my guys. Don't let it do that. This is the #1 most delicious fragrance in my collection. and I need you guys to grab it. If you're not comfortable, you know, saying you purchased it, buy it for your girl and just be like, hey, yo, babe, let me wear that today. You know, I just want to wear it. I mean, it's yours, but you know, let me wear it. That way, if you don't want to get called out, you can say it's your girlfriend's or your wife's. I just hooked you up. All right. That is it, guys. That is all of my most delicious, mouth-watering, desirable fragrances in my collection. Now, I have more. I absolutely have more, but these right here are some of the newest ones. These are some of the ones that I consider to be, you know, the most exotic. And if you want to stand out, if you want to kind of be the type that you can't stop smelling yourself, let alone other people smelling you, grab these fragrances. I'm going to leave links down below where you can check all of them out. I really hope you guys get a chance to smell these fragrances because in my opinion, they are delicious. All right. That is it, guys. Thank you again for watching. Once again, this is a time where I have to thank Christ, my Lord. Thank you for allowing me to speak with my fellow fragrance family. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys, but first and foremost, I want to thank God. You are our King. You are our Lord and Savior. And I want to give you all the glory. Without you, nothing is possible. There are so many aspects of my life that I will never be able to express to not only God, but you guys, of how much He has helped me in my life in the last few years. God knows. I know God knows. And it's weird. We do this thing where we hope we're doing well. And I hope that I'm doing well. I hope that and pray that I am on the right path. Every day I struggle with that. I struggle with saying, am I doing enough? Am I being the best version of myself I can be? And I say that because my wife told me, she said, stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Stop worrying if you got to be perfect because you'll never achieve that. You'll never be that. Just do the work. You know, every day, try to be better. Try to do better. And that's all that God can ask of you. And I say that to you guys because if any of you struggle like me, I'm in my mind all the time. You know, I remember talking about it a couple days ago, walking past people and saying, man, I want to tell them about God. I want to speak to them about God. But it has to be organic, right? It has to be something that feels right. And I mean, not like feeling like, oh, I need to talk to this person and I won't talk to that. No, if you are not, you know, organically speaking, if God is not speaking through you, it's going to come off phony. And I had to pull back and reserve myself and thank my wife once again, because she is what God put her there. She is my helper. She is my counsel, and she keeps me balanced. So I want to say to my wife, if you are watching this, I thank you. I thank God for you, because man, there'll be times that I'm just struggling and you pull me back and you help me. So thank you, God, for her. And you guys, if y'all got a wife, a fiance, a girlfriend that's holding you down, give her praise. Thank her, you know, because it's hard out here. Glory be to God for giving us those beautiful gems as those confidants, those wives in our lives. With that said, guys, I want to thank you once again for joining me on He Smells Like Rome. I love you guys. You know y'all my peoples. And until next time, like I always say, it's okay if you want to smell like Rome. I'll check you guys out in the next video. Till then, God bless in Jesus' name. Peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.